Hey folks, how you doing? Hopefully this is working all right. Hopefully so. Excellent. It is Sunday the 19th of December. 19th day of December. 19th day of Vlogmas.
That's fire.
Oh, let me just turn that off in the background. So yeah, 19th of December. Vlogmas day 19. Well, that's not what I'm going to be here to talk about today. Hopefully there's a few of you out there sit in to watch me talk about planning Audax rides and things like that. So I've sent out a few messages. Hopefully people will be reading those and come and join me, because there's nothing worse than talking to yourself for 3/4 of an hour. Let's have a look. I can see a message in here. So, apparently 4 p.m. Right. So yeah, maybe Chris Gohan, if you're out there, come and join me. Yeah, I'm turning my phone off. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about Audax rides and things like that. And also, let me just on the screen, I want to organise an event. So let me just. I'm going to open a poll up in the corner of the screen. Hopefully you can see it. And the poll simply is: would you like to join me for an organised Lincolnshire ride in March 2020? See if we can get something organised. Whatever the rules and the situation is, well, obviously we'll take that into account at the time and the weather and things like that. But yeah, perhaps if you've never ridden in Lincolnshire, or perhaps you just fancy joining me for a few hours, there's some options on the screen, depending on what sort of length of ride, that kind of thing. So yeah, I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I've got Ride with GPS open in the background, and we're going to go through what it takes to plan for an Audax, mostly about route planning, and we'll just talk a little bit about anything else that might be important, like clothing and things like that. But we're going to take a perspective of now, really, and now is winter, isn't it? So we're going to talk about it from that perspective. So hello, don't be afraid, say hello in the comments, and join in as well. If you've got any questions and things like that, I'll try and answer them as best as I can. So yeah, Sunday 19th of December. Are we ready for Christmas yet? Did a bit of shopping today. I ordered a 6-pack of GT58. That was like £21. That was like a bargain, that. So I'll be have a lubricant throughout next year. So yeah. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. With it being getting close to Christmas, and obviously I'm not spending time out on the bike this time of year. I went out this morning though, and it was rather wet and dirty. Just a bit of a local ride, really. I think I did about 40 miles, just over. Nice cafe stop in the middle, so 20 miles to a cafe stop, 20 miles back again. For me, that's unheard of over the last few months. So if you want to be doing long distance riding, normally you might do about 50 miles, then go for a cafe stop. Anyway, that's enough jibber jabber. So again, if you want to join in the poll, I think there should be some instructions on the screen how to join that. I believe you can just type. We might be able to just click the button. I'm not sure how it works. I think you can. Hold on, let's have a look. I think you can type. Sorry, I'm just doing something off screen at the moment. Let me just do that. Hopefully you've got some. Anyway, I hope you've got some instructions to join the poll. I did remember them, but I forgot them now. So if you want to get involved, hopefully it's straightforward in there. I believe if you want to. So I'm just doing something off screen again, second, bear with. Let's have a look. Yeah, if you do want to take a part in the, I'm trying to just join in the chat within this program. I believe you can type !vote and one of the options on the screen there. That's not very clear, is it? But hopefully you can get involved in that. Just bear with me a second. I want to make that absolutely clear. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. If you do want to join up, if you just type !vote space 100 kilometers, !vote Fondo, or !vote space 100 miles. That's how you get involved with any of those. So I'm going to put a comment in the chat, I think, just to make it absolutely clear. Just will bear with. Right, okay, so which option should I go for? I think most people are going to go for a Gran Fondo, so I'm going to do that now. Vote Fondo. Hopefully that has worked, I'm not too sure. First time I'm doing this. Yeah, I can see it gone in there now. Anyway, right, so that's done. Let's crack on. I've got, like I say, I've got Ride with GPS open in the background, so let me just click across to that now and share with you what's on my screen, which is Ride with GPS. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on chat as well. So perhaps I'll just move that over there, and I move chat just down the side there so I can see what's going on. Right, okay. I can see my votes come through there now. So if you want to get involved in that, that's easy enough to do. Okay, so yeah, Ride with GPS. Usually when I open Ride with GPS, it opens with the own mapping thing on it, their own mapping software. But I also like to use the bog standard map. Don't know why. It's just quite simplified. Also, quite popular one I use is OSM cycle. Now, for anybody who's perhaps thinking about using Komoot or already uses Komoot and thinks, oh, okay, I'm going to sign up to that because it's the only one who's got ordinate survey maps. Yeah, it's not actually, because you can actually change that on here as well. There are quite a few supported. So here's the original OSM, and you can go down right scales. You can see walking paths along fields and things like that. Goes really in depth, and different kind of overlays there. So as you can see, the outdoor one there will show you the contours of the land, that kind of thing. So that one's quite detailed. But to be honest, the main two that I use is the original map there. Don't know why, it's what I got used to really, and the cycle there, because this will overlay NCNs and bike paths and things like that. So before going any further, I noticed a new option that appeared for me this weekend, and it's the personal heat map. So look at how good that is. So that's my personal heat map, and it's a little bit more detailed than it was earlier. Actually, no, I'm looking at something else. It's got an OSI. If I change to map, and it has actually got all the data from it. Well, not all of it, because I don't sign up to Strava Premium. I'm just on Strava Basic. I did subscribe years ago, so I think this is all my rides that I've ever recorded in Ride with GPS. So it doesn't go all the way back to the very beginning of Strava. Otherwise, I ride in France and the Netherlands there. So I'm assuming it's just using rides that I've logged through Ride with GPS. But still, that's brilliant, isn't it? And of course, you can turn on the global heat map as well on there. And thirdly, you got bike paths as well, which is all funky dory. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Audax, really, aren't I? So I'm actually, the reason why I thought I'd share with this today is I need to be planning a route for January. As you know, I'm part of the Audax organisation, so I'm not part of, I'm not an official member or anything like that, but I like to join in with their rides round the year. Basically, you do a 200 kilometre distance every month for the year, and you can submit that at the end and just get recognition for it. So I'm going to be planning January one. So what I kind of had in mind before I joined this today was that I'd like to do a 200 kilometres distance. I want it to be more than 1,000 metres of climbing, and I want it to be hot and sunny. It's not going to happen, that last one, is it? But I'd love it to be dry. Obviously, that's down to the elements and what's going to happen over the next few weeks. I think there's a good chance of a white Christmas, so I don't think they'll be doing much over the Christmas period. Although I do have the Christmas week off. That's a different topic altogether, but I'm hoping to get a few rides over the Christmas week during the Rafa Festive 500. Anyway, so in terms of January, I'm hoping there's going to be a southwesterly, which means it's going to be a little bit milder. So I'm hoping to head to Lincolnshire Wolds. It may be that there's an overlay, it's a bit cold and foggy, and I'll go around the East Riding. But let's assume it's going to be a default direction of southwesterly. So I'm going to ride out into the wind from home and have some nice hills to enjoy. So I'm going to zoom in close to where I live and start the ride there. And like I say, I'm going to go south to this junction here. So if you've not used Ride with GPS before, it's dead easy. You can just draw a line out, and I'll show you some other tools as well. I use control points and custom cues, so you can understand what and trying to explain what the difference is between custom cue and a control point as well. Hi Michael, hope you're doing well. I see you've got your vote in. So if you want to take part, it's dead easy to do. Exclamation mark vote followed by Fondo 100 miles, or what was the other option, 100 kilometres. I don't know if you can see it on screen, Michael, or where I have to explain it every time, but if you just want to let me know. So yeah, I'm going to be quite a popular way out to the Wolds from where I'm living at the moment is to go straight through New Waltham and into Old Waltham, and there's kind of a choice here for me. Yeah, I'll explain. I want to be riding out about 7 o'clock in the morning, so bear in mind 7 o'clock Saturday, Sunday morning, it's usually a weekend that I ride. It's going to be very quiet on the road, so I can stick to more. The tip really is to kind of stick to busier roads, because at 7 o'clock in the morning there won't be busy, there'll be less traffic about, and you might as well go far on quiet roads, and instead of narrow roads where they're covered in dirt and crap and possibly frosty in January. So anyway, I got a choice here. Well, you could go that way, but essentially there's two choices to get me into the Wolds. I can go to Barnley Beck through down Watford Road or Brigsley. Now at the moment here, there's a major roadworks taking place. They're building a roundabout here. That's kind of my preferred route into the Wolds. But if it's Saturday, Sunday morning, there's going to be no traffic about. They might have temporarily closed the road there, even though at the moment they've got pedestrian and cycle access in place. I'd rather go here, so to this roundabout here, Ashby Hill, and this is a lovely little place called East Ravendale. And again, the B1203, a lot of locals, if you live in Grimsby and Cleethorpes, anywhere south of the Humber, this is kind of the local route down here to Wold Newton. But it's a tiny road really, and I'm probably it says it's gonna take 35 minutes to get to that point. It won't. It'd be shorter than that. It'd be about 25 minutes, I think. So 7:30 in the morning roughly. Do I really want to go down narrow roads and things like that middle of January? I'm better off sticking to this road. The disadvantage of this road here is it's really hilly. But for me, I don't mind so much. As you know, if you watch the channel any decent amount of time, I love my roads. So yeah, I'm just going to switch across, make sure my camera's on alright. Yeah, excellent, fantastic. If you do want to get involved in the chat, just head in there, and I'd love to read your messages, give you shout outs, that kind of thing. You can also do super chat in there as well if you want to send a donation or anything like that. It's Christmas. I'm spending buying lots of things for the TCR next year. But if you want to show your appreciation for the channel, that's how you do it. So yeah, I'm more inclined to go through Binbrook. So I'm just gonna make my way to my first control point, and I'm probably going to do that at 80 kilometres, and I'll show you what these are in a moment if you're not familiar with Ride with GPS. So again, I'm just going to stick to that main road here, the B1203, because it gets me a good distance in on wider roads. Now, a bit of a choice here. Do I go to Tealby? This road here is subject to subsidence, paper mill lane, so in the winter time it's probably not the best way to go. However, it gets me off the walls pretty quickly, and again it's quite quiet. What I could potentially do, again it's only going to be at 8:15 in the morning, is stick to the high street and follow it. Where can I follow it to? I can probably follow it here, the A631. So we'll do that. So I'm always in my mind as I'm looking at these routes is what time is it, so what conditions of the roads in January, how dirty they're going to be and things like that. Let's just have a cup of tea. making a mess anyway. Let's go in the pad. Marcus just put in the comments there he uses Ride with GPS. Tried several always, but always go back to Ride with GPS. I mean, my favourite one is definitely Ride with GPS. I've used Komoot a little bit, and it's just so much easier to use this, and it's really, really flexible to move things around. Whereas Komoot itself is, I find it a bit unwielding. And Strava, I used to use Strava for years and years and years, and I've just come back to using this really. It's so much easier. Yes, you can see your instructions easily. Oh, excellent, excellent, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for confirming that. So I'm just going to continue into market raising. I'm up to 33 kilometres. It's too soon to get a. If you're doing a long distance ride like a 200, that's far too soon. I'm going to be having food with me, eating out of my back pocket or top bag or something like that. So where I'm roughly going to head to, I'm up to 33 at the moment. Let's head down to Bardney. So we're going to follow the B1202. There's a butcher's in Bardney, does excellent food. So I may or may not use this route, but it'll give you an indication of what goes through my mind as I'm doing it. So I'm just following Bardney Road. Let's jump through. So I've got choices in Bardney at 10:30 in the morning, something like that, 3 o'clock, 7, so 10 o'clock in the morning more or less. There's a co-op there. What I've done in the past is go to the butcher's while he's making the sandwich, go up to the co-op there, walk back with the coffee, eat the food. There's a bench just outside the pub there, which I can just sit down and relax. And there's the bench just there, just in case you didn't know what a bench looked like. Great food. If you're in Bardney, good place to grab some food. So who's messaging me? Let's see if, hopefully it was somebody that was going to join me. No, it's Strava. Let me just put that to the side. Let's get rid of distractions. So yeah, I'm at 56k now. That's a quarter of the ride done. So I'm just I'll put control pin down in a minute, but I'm just going to decide which way I want to go first. I could potentially join the Lincoln Waterway, so we're just going to draw that down here. I don't mind riding on here because it's nice asphalt, so even in winter it's okay to ride on. So what I'm going to do as regards to Bardney, I'm going to, in terms of Audax, I'm going to mark this as a control point. So I'm going to click this tool here and click there. Oh, it's not a control point, is it? It's the drop POI, sorry, I was thinking of. So let me just undo that. Let's drag this back away over there. It's in fact it's a custom queue. It's custom queue and drop POI. So I'm going to click custom queue there like that, and I'm going to give it the title of control. CP1. Remember, this is what's going to show up on your Wahoo or your Garmin, so you need to keep it really short. Forget about spaces. So CP1 at butchers. That's all I'm going to use. And because this is going to show up on the screen, I'm not sure where this shows. You could be a bit more descriptive because this is going to show on your computer. So you could type it all out. Control point 1 at butchers. Oops, butchers of. Can't type. Butchers of Bardney, like that. Save it. You can have photos and stuff like that. So this ends up in your queue sheet. Not sure why it's not showing at the moment. It will do though. Oh, there it is, CP1. Now when you save it, if I just save it a moment and give that title, I just want to show you something and view that and then edit it again. The note symbol has gone and you can no longer change that. However, it's permanently there in your queue sheet and you can still update it. You just click that and there you go. But can you see how the note symbol's gone? That's how you change it later. So now again, I was mentioning about sitting down here at the bench. So what you can actually do, I wouldn't normally do this because it's only a bench, but you can actually click down here and use point of interest. So and you've got loads of options for ATMs, bars. There is actually a pub there, but we're just gonna sit down really. Let's have a look. What's the most appropriate for that? Yeah, maybe have a coffee. So we'll just put sit at a bench. Now where this appears, I can't really show you this on my holding my phone up or anything, but so this puts a symbol down, and when you save it, you can actually you can zoom out and see these, and they will permanently stay on the map. They won't merge. They don't go into your cue sheet, so that won't appear on your Wahoo or your Garmin. That is mostly for the website or the app. If you've got on your phone, you actually be able to see these and click through, and I think you can even update them and things like that. So typically, how more likely I'm going to use those, if I just delete that one there, there's actually a cemetery here, and if you've been watching my cycling tips, a good place to get water is a cemetery. So we're going to find, I think there's a water option here somewhere. There you go. So Bardney Cemetery, and there's a big tap outside. If you're going to get water from a tap or a cemetery, just let it run for 30 seconds before putting it in your water bottle. So we're going to pop that down there. Of course, in January might be in full lockdown, so I might want to avoid these places and carry stuff with me, be self-sufficient. So it'd be useful just to get some water from a cemetery. Anyway, we're up to 60k now. There's another 140 to go. You need to bear in mind where I'm going to come back. If I was to draw really quick, get out route. If I was to draw really quickly, kind of a shape, I'm going to be short still. So I'll just come back to the 60 point. So I can still go further out. Let's head to Boston, shall we? Now, there's a lovely route down to Boston, and it's the Lincoln Waterway. So just make sure one's cycling. Can't drive on here. I often use a driving mode. You'll learn to use it if you don't already use it on ride with GPS. Always kind of leave it on driving mode unless you're in the Netherlands. So this is where you come off it. You go around there into there. And although you can cut across there, I generally stick to the road. So this is where the official route follows down to, through Tattershall over there. I'm waiting for this to get back up to 120 before we take another break. It keeps going, and it goes through Chapel Hill. That's really boring straight part, like insanely straight and boring. And where does it come out? Hubbards. Oh no, here we go. We're just turning here. We're getting to Landrick Bridge, past the Witherman Blues, which is a great restaurant I've stopped at once at least so far during an Audax. This is where we pick up the waterway again, and it follows the river Witham all the way. Let's just scan back, just make sure it's not deviated anywhere. All the way into Boston. So the first stop was at 56. We can see it in there. CP1, Bardner's Butchers. I can't speak. That was only at 56. We've only just done an extra 38k, whatever it is. So it's far too early. I want to get that to 120. So where can we head? I'll head up to Skegness, I guess. I'm trying to think where we can go. I know there's a co-op here, co-op there. Let's get a co-op in Burnley Marsh, shall we? Because we already stopped for a nice breakfast bun. If we're running short of water, could actually go into Gibraltar Point and get some water from there. Things you learn, eh? I've learnt lots of spots to go for water during lockdown. But if you're ever in Boston, you want to find something to eat, there's the Boston Lock Cafe just there. That's really nice. So anyway, we're going to let's go on to driving mode. Well, actually, let's leave it on cycling just to get past that. Get back onto driving mode. And we're going to go down Norfolk Street to Hospital Lane. So again, all I'm thinking as I'm drawing this is what time it will be. just flick it to cycling there. So right now they've done 5 hours, so it's 12 o'clock, it's midday. I don't want to go down the A16, but there's a road running parallel to it somewhere. Where's that road which runs parallel? Trying to work it out as I go along. There's Carrington there. I think this is the one I was thinking. It goes a little bit out of the way. Well, a lot out of the way, to be honest. Where's the road I'm thinking? Sibsey, Stickney. But let's go this way. And I often stick the global heat map on here. If I'm unsure about the roads, you can use the global heat map to see where other people ride. And I think this is indeed the road I was thinking. Wainfleet. And like I say, there's a road that runs parallel to somewhere along here. Can't remember where it is. Alongside of the banks of a river. Fryston. I think we're perhaps heading in a different way. So I'm going to follow the A52 just for a little while until I get to here. Oh, I know. I think I know where I am now. Yeah, so I don't mind following the A52 up there. Then I'm going to get off it as soon as I can. And we're going to follow this road all the way up here. If we're ever unsure about what the road state's like, you can just drop a street map thing down, and you can see it's quite a wide road. It's not a single track. It's quite a wide road, that. So hopefully it'll be gritted. And again, we can just see if there's any local cycle roads around here, which there isn't because it's in the depths of southern Lincolnshire. We're going to go and follow on a B road, and we're just going to load on the global heat map. See where do everybody normally go? So they go here. There's a deep red through there. So we're just going to zoom out a bit. See how this is? I don't know why you can see on the screen, but this is like a deeper red. So we're going to follow it through. There's some options here. We're up to, we're up to 120 here. So why not stop at Co-op in Wainfleet, which is not that for a moment. So we're going to put a pin down here, custom queue, and I'll show you another tip here. If we roll into there, look, we've got 124 kilometers. How useful would it be to know that you're in only 4 kilometers more from your next stop? If you're out on the road, how great that would be to know that you're nearly there. So we're going to drop a custom queue just there, and then we're going to go say, well, I'm just going to put generic. I think that's a little information symbol which will appear. You do get little icons on the screen like the Wahoo. It'll show you like a burger for food and things like that. But I'm just going to put it as generic, which I think might be an information symbol. You've got all sorts on here, like, a summit, that kind of thing, sharp left and what have you. So I'm just going to put on here, again, this will appear on your Wahoo. So you just go 4 kilometers, could I work in kilometers? 4 kilometers to, or you can put to Co-op, something like that. And there it is. And at the Co-op itself, I've just dropped the queue just past it. We're going to drop a point of interest, drop it on there. If it will let me go. There's a food option, convenience store. There we go. So just put Co-op. And again, these will appear in your app. Right, so how do we leave Wainfleet? Where are we going to go? We're on a third stop somewhere along here, which is going to be quite close to the end. I'm thinking I might fancy some hills, because we've not done any hills yet. So we might just actually stick on the skirt the edge here to Alford, and then kind of come along here a little bit. we're going to control in Louth, I think. Might have gone a little bit too far. Let's see what it is like when I finish this. So again, if you want to get involved in the poll, let me just see myself how many votes are coming in. Looks like we've got 2 votes, me and Michael. So if you want to join the Rivalry March, just get involved. In the chat there's instructions on how to do it. Right. So I'm gonna try and do a direct route. I'm gonna stick to this route. Oops. Drop. Need to go to add to route. I'm just gonna follow it up. There's gonna be some refinements at the end of this thing. Now, if I didn't want to stop at Waveley Co-op, I could have gone to the Burley Marsh. I just realised when I finish this, well, I'll show you how to submit it to Audax if you're a member of Audax. It's dead easy to do. So basically I'm putting pins down every between 50 and 80 kilometres. So what we're going to do, we're going to come onto this back road here to Orby. It's nice back road. And we're going to leap over there. Is this the road? I think it is. No, there's another road you can just jump over, the A158 just there. I'm not entirely sure where this goes. Let's turn on the global heat map so we can see a little bit more information. I have been these roads. And again, I just don't want to. I want to make sure in January they're not too narrow and things like that. So we're going to actually join this road here, which comes off the A128. I know it's a little bit wider. So we're just going to follow that up to Moorthorpe, and then we're going to drop into Alford. If I'm a little bit hungry at this point, I can branch off the route, because when you do DIYs Audax, you don't have to necessarily stick to it. You can go a little bit off if you want. And in fact, I'll just take the route through Alford itself, just to this junction here, and then join left down West Street. There's plenty of options here. There's also Couplands just on the corner there. Want a quick pastry or something like that. So we're going to follow West Street up, and it goes uphill quite significantly just here. Then we're going to follow it through Rigsby, and then I'm going to get to South Ferriby, where the condition of the road is going to be shocking because there's a quarry nearby, so the road turns white, not from snow. Oh shit. So we're going to carefully go through there and join the road up to Bellow. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. And I'm going to stick on the edge here and follow that all the way to Little Corthorpe, home to the Splash pub. It's a beautiful little pub there. I'm actually going to go down Watery Lane, and it's watery because there is actually a Ford across here. Let's zoom in, and I know somebody who watches the channel who loves Fords. Add this one to your list, Paul Green, if you're watching. I can tell you which way I'll go across this. I will be taking the bridge across there. Any time of the year, I'll take the bridge. So we're going to go through there. We could just stick to the main road, but why not have a little bit of scenery? So we're heading to Louth, busier road. By this point, we've taken 8 hours, so what is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or thereabouts. I've stopped, and obviously I've been stopping to eat places, so you know it's getting towards 3:30, 4 o'clock or something. So we'll start to 160. It was only 40 since the last stop, and if I just click here to see how far it's to go, I'm still a bit short. So we're going to want to have some fun in the hills a little bit. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. For this example, we're just going to continue into Louth, join Stoughton Road Lane, which I came down today actually, did a bit of a road through there, and past the leisure centre. We're going to get to the bottom, and that's actually a quick right and left, so we're going to do that. We're going to go to, where is it? I think it's that first right there, and this takes us up to Brackenborough Road, and there's a cycle path here which joins this industrial estate. Now it's going to be quite late in the day, so the tennis club here, Louth, won't be open. So what I can do is make my way to the Shell garage, grab a cup of coffee. Starbucks is there. I hate Starbucks, I won't be going there. I'll just be going to the Shell garage, grab me something to eat. And because it's an Audax, I need to grab a proof of passage, so I'll probably just grab a receipt, something like that. Well, if it's an Audax event, I'd have to grab a receipt. What I'm doing it in my mind, I'll be doing it as a mandatory event. I always do my rides in mandatories actually. So then you just submit your GPS route at the very end of it. I'll do that as well. I'll show you how that's done. Just go through the steps, dead easy. So we've got to 173 kilometres, there's another 27 to go. So if I just quickly click back to Cleethorpes, am I any closer? 6k away. I also said at the very beginning I wanted to do 1,000 metres of climbing, so I'm still actually a little bit short at the moment. So what I'm going to do from here, and I did this the other day, I'm going to join the A16. It's a really busy road this. I'm going to come off at the earliest possible moment, which is down there, the old road, the old A16, and then we're going to jump across here. There's some steps down to here, so we're just going to walk the bike down, jump across, and a nice climb up to Elkerton, 2.5 kilometres up there. And this road here, it looks like a narrow road, but if I show the heat map, this is a very popular road for cyclists, so we're going to join that. I'm actually going to just go back to Louth again because I didn't put a pin down, did I? We're going to stick it at the Shell garage, so I'm going to put that down as well. Firstly, I'm going to drop that down onto there and say control, and I missed one out earlier, didn't I? So CP3 at Shell garage, like that. Save that, and that is at the what marks that 173. So we're just going to come back to 168, which is there. So we're going to just deselect that. I think that's how you deselect it. Oh, that's not how you would do it, is it? Getting lost here. So if you come back to Kennick roundabout, knock that off. There we go. I'm just going to drop a custom queue down here just to tell me how far it is from the next control. So we're going to go CP3 in 5k. That's roughly right. So come on to there, go back to CP2 because I forgot to do the correct thing. So we're just going to change that one. CP2 at co-op. There we go. So we've got, I've used different symbol there. I've used, oh, did I change that earlier? Where's the butcher's one? Where's the butcher? I must have changed it. Let's put that in now, shall we? Just in case I use this route. So, or did it custom queue it? It custom queued it, didn't it? I'd saved it earlier. So there you go, CP1 at butchers. It's because I don't like that feature. I think it should keep it outside of it, but it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't, does it? Yeah, that's annoying. I wish it did both. So let's put that down there as well then. I keep thinking you can drag. So we're just going to add that one in there, just so I can see where I put it in on a desktop computer as well as the app. So CP1 at butchers. So in this occasion, we've got a POI for the control point as well as a custom queue, which is saved in here. Shouldn't have to do that, but it's done. So right, where was we? I've done that one. I've done the custom queue to say there's only 5 kilometers left, and I've dropped a symbol on there as well. So like I say, now I was going to join the A16 really briefly and jump across here. I need to get some more hills in. Well, I've done it already from that single climb up here the North Elkington incline is assured that I've done 1,000 metres of climbing. So we're just going to keep following this top road. Where I'm going to go. In January it's going to be pretty much dark by this point. So I'm going to actually come off here down, oops, done it again. I'm going to come off here down Salters Lane. This is a really quick descent, but it's going to get us back onto clean roads. And as I was talking about at the very beginning, there's building a new roundabout there. This whole section, virtually no traffic on it right now. So we're going to go into Ludborough, past the pub, to this dead end here, and this is where I'm going to have to draw a line to get across, because road GPS won't allow me to do it. I've fallen foul of that many times. So we're just going to follow it into Fulstow, Thoresby. Hopefully we've got the right distance this time. All good roads, all main wide roads. Starting to get a little bit busy now. We're up to 196. We're not going to go take a shortcut there. We're going to sometimes take a shortcut there, but we're cutting it fine. Look, let's have a look. How's it doing? How well is it doing? Oh, here we go. I've hit 200 kilometres, and that's the top road. So we're doing 201.7. At this point, what I generally do is go save, so I don't lose anything. Well, how much time is left on that pole? I can't see on my screen. It's too small. Right, okay, so what we ended up here is a route which is 200 kilometres long. It tells us it's going to a ride time of 10 hours. Well, yeah, ride time of 10 hours. Yeah, not elapsed time, but it's the ride time. This is time moving. That's how much gain there's going to be. The maximum gradient is just there, and the minimum gradient coming off the other end is there. That's interesting. Can we click? So let's just see where that is. Okay, that first hill onto the Wolds is Ashby Hill, and coming off is probably here. Let's have a look. Down there. I forget about that feature, but that's pretty good, isn't it? And of course we can see it on the bit down on there as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna think on it for a moment, because I'm going to show you how to submit this how you submit this as a ride for Audax. So we've ended up with 200 kilometre route, 1,000 metre climbing. We've got 3 control points which are marked out here. That one there. Sorry, what's that one? Well, that's one we've dropped by mistake by the looks of it. So I'm going to just clear that one off. So I've got 3 control points which I'm going to need to submit to Audax when I submit it. So I'm just going to come in and clean that one off, because we don't need that one. Delete, is that how you do it? Yep, okay. Right, so I'm just going to resave that. What we're going to do is export it as a GPX, not a fit file, because that's no good. So we're going to click more options. That's for my Garmin, so it's just remembered that. So we're not going to tick any boxes, we're just going to let it send out the breadcrumb trail. Right, so we delete that. So again, just to review, 3 control points. We're just going to leave this here in the background, and I'm going to open a new tab. I've got the GPX file sorted. I'm going to go across to the Audax website. I'm going to mock show you how you submit this. So let me just sort myself out. Yeah. And what we're going to do is it's a mandatory DIY. I always do mine as mandatory DIY. So if you're not familiar with Audax, this is your own dashboard. You can see a history of rides, what you've been on, and things like that, what events you're planning. So there's a few on there. So we'll go to calendar event is there. We're going to go to DIY. We're going to choose mandatory. I won't explain the difference between mandatory and advisory right now, because, well, I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to tick that. we'll choose Andy because he's a North England organiser. We'll choose a distance, 200 kilometres. We'll choose when I'm going to ride it. I may or may not ride this one, but I'm going to choose a date at random. So you put, you need to put where you're starting from, which is that junction on Stephen Crescent. So what you can do, I don't know if this will work by doing this. I don't think it will work now. Can we click? Ah, there we go. Excellent. Okay, so that's the junction there. Now, if you look at the address bar, you've got all this gobbledygook in here, but you've also, after the @ symbol, that's the latitude and that's the longitude. So you can actually copy that and go to the right tab. You can put longitude in there and go Stephen Crescent, Humberston, and the total distance is 201. This is where it gives the opportunity to attach the zip. So we do that, and I'm not really going to submit this, but bear in mind what you had in the map, where you had 2 CPC control points. So the first of those is in Bardney, so we say Bardney, just name of the place really, Bardney, Wainfleet and Louth. Now what I also do as an added bonus is Bardney at, I forget I'm on a PC keyboard at the moment, let's go with that, just to make sure I get these right. So it's down, and if you look down the bottom of the screen where the elevation is, it says 55.8, so we're just going to put 55 there. And Wainfleet is over here. So again, just click it, look at the elevation, which says 124 kilometres. Louth is the final one. So again, you can use these labels if you get lost as well. And we're going to stop at the Shell garage, aren't we? Which is 173. Like that. At 173 kilometres. And if you want to put any more information in there, you can do. And you click submit to ask you to confirm it, yes or no, and off it'll go. And you'll get an email. You'll get an email confirmation from Audax, and it will also tell you on there. Let me just get rid of that now. It'll also give you a track log link. Try saying that after a few drinks. You get a track log link, so which allows you to submit your activity from Strava back to Audax after the ride. So what you do really, you log into your Strava activity. So I'll show you briefly. So you just go to activities, and the last one I did was here. So you go to that. There's a button somewhere to export it out. So you export the GPX. So let's do that, shall we? And that lands on your laptop somewhere, or your computer, and there it is. And what you do, if you're on a Mac, right click, compress, which changes it into a zip, and you use that, you attach that to, when you go into your email, there's a track log link, click that, it opens up a form which is similar to the one we already completed. You attach that where you need to, fill in bits and bobs on the form, click send, and everything goes off. And that's it. That's all you have to do to submit a DIY Audax to Audax using their website. It's dead easy. So yeah, hopefully that kind of explained that quite well. So let's just come back to this and see if it kind of satisfies my needs for riding really. So yeah, it's a decent ride. It's fairly southwest. You know, we're going to be riding out here, and I guess the wind's going to be a headwind all the way down to Boston really. So half of the ride's going to be kind of headwind, and then tailwind along here, and a bit of a crosswind, but we're going to be in the hills for a little while. We've only just made 1,000 metres, haven't we? I'm just coming back into it again just to make up that difference just there before running back home to Humberston and Cleethorpes. So yeah, again, you can use these options for different map overlays. I do find them quite useful when you're riding somewhere that you don't know. For instance, here, this is the EV12. I don't know what the EV ever stands for. I think it's Eurovelo. I don't know. But we can see that is a particular cycle route. But these are all over the country, really. They're often marked in purple or red. Transpennine Trail there. NCN number 1. So if it's in red, generally speaking, it's an NCN, and it'll just have a number on it. So NCN 110, etc. Anyway, back to this route. So it's hard to find the route again when you're on that mode. You can use like terrain as a useful one as well. So you can see the contours of the hills and things like that. The interesting one I found earlier was that outdoor one. I haven't really used that much, but that gives us a lot greater detail where the contours of the hills are and things. Might use that a little bit more often in the future. So that's essentially how I would plan out the route. I guess when it comes to riding a 200-kilometre distance in January, you know, there's other things that you've got to think about really. Let's just put me on there. How do we do it? There we go. Yeah, you need to be thinking about all things like clothing and stuff like that. So in January it's going to be pretty cold. If it's raining, it'd be different, won't it? So it looks like the polls ended. I'll look at that later, see how many people took part. I think there's only 2 people, me and Michael. I see, think about these live streams. I don't know how many people are going to be joining. We've not got millions of subscribers. I haven't even got tens of thousands. I like to. If you're not subscribed, you know what to. Hit that button down below. Great to have you on board and supporting the channel. Helps people find this channel, doesn't it, by having more subscribers watching. Anyway, yeah, so typically in January I'm going to be wearing a base layer, full sleeve jersey, either long bibs, or if my long bibs are in the wash, I'll be wearing regular short bib shorts. What I tend to do is wear arm warmers, maybe arm warmers, but yeah, leg warmers as well, because you know, I don't own many long bibs. And then of course, you know, you've got to think about what sort of tyres you're going to have on the bike. I've got gator skins on, and don't tell me off, but yeah, I like gator skins. They do the job quite nicely. Can't talk. Perhaps I need a cup of tea. What else? So you go, winter tyres are on, make sure the brakes are working, get out there, and just kind of make the most of what should be a good route in this case. Yeah, let's have a look at the route again. So I've got that there, yeah. So it's pretty interesting route really. I mean, there's plenty of flat in the middle there. I wouldn't probably ride that much flat, to be honest, if this was me doing a little bit more. I'd try to stay in the walls a little bit more, keeps you warm in January. That might be your thing, it might not be your thing. I can understand why you might want to just fly across there and enjoy a little bit uphill on the way back. So yeah, I'm probably going to end this video here. If you've got any questions, you've got me for maybe another minute more or so. Feel free to ask while I'm here. Hope you're all ready for Christmas. It's the 19th of December, so there's not many shopping days left. I did a little bit of shopping today. I actually bought, I think I mentioned earlier, I bought some GT85. It was £21 for packet 6, so that was actually a bargain. So have a look on Amazon if you want to get yourself some lubrication for your bike. I was actually thinking, why am I buying this in single units? I'll use a lot of it for cleaning the chain and the cassette. It's really, really good. Talking about components, things like that, I actually bought 2, not 1 but 2 1134 cassettes. I was really lucky. They're not Shimano ones, they're Shimano compatible. Michi or Mitch, I think it's pronounced Mitch. So I've got those coming either tomorrow or Tuesday, and that may not last me into next year. I won't tell you where I bought from. It's kind of a secret, because obviously it's quite difficult finding cassettes at the moment, and I don't want that shop to run out of cassettes, because I need to be ordering quite a few of those probably next year for both bikes. So I'm sure you'll be able to find somewhere local to you, no doubt. Probably won't be Shimano ones though. Really tricky, aren't they? Trying to buy original Shimano components at the moment. Yeah, so I think I pretty much covered everything. I told you how to submit the route, what goes through my mind when I'm planning a route and things like that. You know, you just in terms of clothing, which I touched on earlier, just got to be sensible. I'd rather take too much clothing and have it with me and never use it than not have clothing with me and you know, freeze to death because you you really need to be keeping warm. Talked a little bit about places that you can stop in terms of water and food and things like that, especially in January when we might be faced with a lockdown. I'd rather take food with me, so I may well be riding with like a throwing bag, just put loads of food in there and things like that. But who knows, we don't know what's going to happen in January. Right, so I'm leaving here. We're just coming up to about an hour now. It's probably a good place to stop and just chill out and enjoy the rest of my Sunday evening, and hope you can do the same as well. So again, just to round it up, if you're not enjoying the channel, if you're not subscribed, do hit that subscription button below. It'd be great to have you on board. If you enjoy this video, give it the thumbs up. Right, that's it. Enjoy your weekend, what's left of it.